All right. Hello, and I guess this would be my second kind of discussion video where I'm going to be covering Marvel Spider-Man 2 theory. It's I wanted to go off script with this. I didn't really want to bother of making a script, and I wanted to talk about some of the potential ideas that I feel will be covered in this game. So for instance, possibilities about Venom, where Peter will go as a character, Miles, what he'll be doing in the game, and then the potential for like Mary Jane, like what is she doing, where's she gonna end up, and then I really would like to discuss about other characters coming into this game. And so this is going to be more of me like kind of rambling. Maybe I might get off topic a bit, but I'm kind of new to this. I'm just trying things out. But if you saw the title screen or the thumbnail, obviously this game will have a very big presence with Venom, right? It's like this is the whole thing besides Kraven. It's going to be about the symbiote and how it is pretty much going to mess up Peter's life, right? Now, we've seen this before in other media with Spider-Man 3, the animated shows. And when thinking about it, like there's pretty like there's story beats that always are covered, where like the aggression, his power, eventually him ruining his relationships with loved ones, getting rid of said power, and then the birth of Venom. And I know there's a lot of theories about like who Venom is, because at the Summer Games Fest, obviously Brian Interhart came on and he was kind of discussing about how Venom is not Eddie Brock, and then people were like, oh, is this another Arkham Knight kind of situation where it's not Jason Todd but it was Jason Todd. Personally, I don't think it is. I don't think it'll be Eddie. It could be. I honestly think though that Insomniac so far with their two games, Spider-Man PS4 and then Miles Morales, they've done really good of telling original stories that are also like very influenced to the material that's based off of. So like for instance in PS4, they didn't show Ock at all in like the trailers and marketing, and so when you see him for the first time, they're not really playing coy that like he'll be Ock. Like they know that that the fans are smart and that this character will turn into said villain. So what they do is they're trying to make it heartbreaking, right? Like they don't want you to see it. It's kind of like when you watch the Star Wars prequels. Eventually, like Anakin will become Vader, and so what they do is they make it to where like you really do not want to see this dude fall to the dark side. And so there's that. So who Venom will be, it's difficult. It could totally be Harry. I don't know. There's theories obviously that it could be like more of an Ultimate Spider-Man kind of thing and do Peter, to where Miles will definitely fight Peter in this game. I think that's 100% guaranteed. Now whether it's when he's just Black Suit Spider-Man or if he turns into Venom, I don't know. Obviously they showed the concept art of Venom, and people are like using that as like 100% it's gonna be both of them fighting Venom. I don't personally think so. You can make artwork to hide story beats. That's happened before, and in games and media before. But I don't think Peter will be Venom. There's also the theories of Kraven being Venom, which is interesting. And then I had a theory, but I wanted to give a shout out to Evan Filarka. He had the theory that I kind of wanted to discuss a little bit, where he believes that Norman Osborn will become Venom. Which is like it's weird, right? Because when you think of Norman, you think of Goblin, which we're gonna be discussing that. Goblin definitely I think is happening. But I kind of makes sense. I'll go ahead and I'll link his video because he's gonna do it way better than me. He's been doing this for years now, since even before PS4 came out. And I think from my POV, I stayed away from really watching it because I want to try to have my own thoughts about it and not have him kind of go into my head, so I don't steal his stuff. But you know, obviously this suit was made for Harry to keep him alive. Clearly it's not with Harry, whether Harry took it off or Peter unintentionally takes it by accident. I'm not too sure. So I definitely could see Harry wanting to die, where he's kind of at his end and he's like, you know, you're wasting all this money, time trying to keep me alive. Just let me die. And Norman clearly won't want that. So I could totally see Norman with his anger and aggression getting the symbiote. And then what you could do with that, if Norman does become Venom, he'll have the symbiote's memories and all that. So clearly he would find out Peter is Spider-Man. And that, you know, Peter being Spider-Man, he has caused him so many issues in PS4. And I'm assuming in this game as well. Which, I mean, taking the suit, he could totally blame Peter for that and saying, like, it is now your fault that my son is dead. And another interesting thing to think about is, like, where is the symbiote gonna end up at the end of this game? Like, Spider-Man 3, it's killed, it's destroyed. And the shows, I don't remember in spectacular what happens. I think it's just, I think it's just put into concrete, I believe. And then obviously the show never gets to finish with like Carnage and stuff. So it's really interesting to think about what will be the outcome of like Venom. Will he stay as a character in the universe? And then maybe eventually going to Eddie, I'm not too sure. Or will he be kind of sidelined with kind of how in PS4 Spidey, he had like I think it was a part or it was all of Sam into this vial and he just forgot about him on a rooftop, like keeping it contained for a couple years. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to think, like, because, you know, this is a game, right? This isn't a film. And so game wise, this game is adding so many new elements to the gameplay, especially with Peter with the symbiote. That is kind of his whole thing, to help him elevate him, because Miles got huge upgrades compared to PS4 Peter. And so to make, you know, Peter not seem like a less Spider-Man, I think giving the symbiote was a perfect idea. So if you take that away, once you do the third game, because you know there will be a third game, how will they implement that to make him as good? And then also, like, you know, if you're getting rid of the symbiote in this game, you won't have those abilities, and I'm assuming there's like a skill tree and such. So it's like, what, like, how are they gonna work with that? Like, once you beat the game, Peter just can't use the symbiote anymore. Like, these are things that I'm so interested in. And so yeah, so I feel like those are some kind of things that I think would be happening. Some ideas I've had. I'm really interested. I would love to see people's interpretations of these kind of ideas. I don't think I've seen people talking about, like, game-wise. Obviously, everyone's obsessed with the story, like, and I do too, would love to know about the story. But in terms of gameplay, like, how are they going to do that? Because I think back to, like, Web of Shadows, the game just ends. I think you can do free roam, but it's kind of right before you finish the game. And so you still have the symbiote. Spider-Man 3. I think Spider-Man 3, the video game, you're just back to normal Peter. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing to think about. In terms of where Kraven's gonna go, I have no idea. As a character, definitely think he's gonna be defeated. But, like, will they do the Last Hunt story? That is an interesting idea. It's very dark, but I can tell. I mean, you can tell this game is going to be very dark compared to PS4 and Miles. They could also make a homage to the MTV Spider-Man and have, with all his anger, you know, Peter trying to kill Kraven, and then what if Miles interferes? Off topic, sorry, but Miles interests me so much in this game because what is this dude gonna be doing, right? So like, this is gonna be the first time where Insomniac has to cover both Spider-Man and the story, because PS4 was strictly Peter with little sidelines of like MJ and Miles, but then for this, like, they have to both be in the story at the same time, and so they gotta juggle that. And so I was thinking, like, man, what are him and Genki gonna do? And so I was thinking, like, well, you know, what if Peter as the character, he will have this suit, right? I'm assuming he's gonna have a moment of like clearly knowing that like, this is not either from this world or this is like not biologically normal, but he might ignore it because the benefits outweigh the, I don't know, maybe logic. And so while he's too busy trying to save Harry and take down Kraven, what if on the sideline we have Miles and Genki going around the city and maybe trying to discover about this suit, because Peter's not talking, right? He's not clearly himself, so they try to uncover it. It leads them back to Oscorp, the whole conspiracy thing, blah, blah, blah. Leads to a conflict where he has to fight Peter. I think that's a good idea. I think that's, like, I was thinking, like, what are they going to do with Miles? I definitely think that'll be the case. Now, with MJ, you could also do that. She could also be looking into it, especially since she's way more of a reporter in this universe. Boy, Mary Jane, like, I wonder how this game is going to end with like Peter's relationships, because I definitely think it's going to mess up his relationship with Miles, with Mary Jane. Almost, I feel like it'll be to the point where it'll be like with Spider-Man 3. I don't know if it'll get as abusive where he hits MJ, but Insomniac did say that they are going to be kind of leaning into that drug addiction feeling that Peter has with the suit, which that could it's obviously going to cause issues. And so what if this is like, I don't know if they want to go this route and have this be the final straw and Mary Jane kind of leaves. I don't know. I don't think MJ will die. But then while I was thinking about Mary Jane, I was also thinking, like, way back when PS4 Spider-Man was being like advertised and Insomniac were on the socials talking about it, something came up which at the time I was so hyped for it, and from that point on nothing has happened with it. And you guys might know from the thumbnail what I'm talking about, but Gwen Stacy, they said, basically, I don't know the context of it, I'll try to find the tweet, but it was basically like, I guess someone assuming about like, oh, is this the bridge where Gwen died or something, from like a gameplay video or a screenshot. And then they said, who said Gwen is dead in our universe? And this is very interesting timing with Beyond and Across the Spider-Verse. I won't go into that, but like obviously with like TASM 2, the comics, Gwen Stacy dies at the hand of Green Goblin. And now that they're saying like Gwen is alive, which I fully believe that, because I feel like they would have had a nod to her in the first game for sure, and like the backpacks. And so I'm thinking, like, you know, if they didn't show Otto in PS4, what's to say they show nothing of like some other characters? So if you add Gwen, like, I don't know how they would do it. Like, where would she be? How would she meet Peter? Because obviously in this game, like, he's very attached to MJ, right? That's the thing. I have these ideas. I don't know how they're going to delve into it, implement it. But I think it's interesting. Like, if you delve into her character a lot, maybe make him get close to her because of the whole MJ thing, and maybe, I don't know, Gwen, not as understanding, but like she's like, she doesn't know. Actually, yeah, she doesn't know all the context, right? She doesn't know he's Spider-Man, so she is like just this person that knows Peter, possibly, and she sees him like struggling, and so she's like, she wants to help, blah blah blah. She's like, nice, whatever. And so if Peter loses the MJ connection by the end of the game, he could like potentially get closer to Gwen, and then that leads into the third game. So third game, I definitely think it'll be Norman Osborn Green Goblin. I think they're fully leading into that, and I'm so excited to see this game's expansion of that. And I think it would make a truly heartbreaking conclusion to that third game. Or if we're talking about destiny and how Gwen's are always supposed to die, would that, and technically in terms of lore and canon, Gwen is the first love interest of like Peter in terms of like, you know, they were meant to be, but she is taken away from him. She dies. That would technically be MJ in this universe. So what if that's switched around and like MJ dies by the hands of Goblin, and then it's Gwen who like becomes, I guess, the MJ. I don't know. It was just something I was thinking about. I just wanted to make this quick video. It's probably not quick. I don't even know how long it's been. I've been playing the trailer in the background. It's probably like, what, 20 minutes right now? I don't know. I just had some ideas. I wanted to share them. Please, if anyone sees this, I would love to hear your theories. Maybe to talk more about mine or my ideas. I'm probably crazy. I just love these characters. I would love to see Gwen. I'm so excited for this game. But yeah, I mean, just let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.